The Mike Wagne Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, Custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagne Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
It's now time for the Mike Wagne Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagne Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagneShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagne Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagne Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagne Show and get 20% off on your project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagne Show can be heard on the MikeWagneShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagne Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Over 25 podcast platforms and counting. We also added Geo7, and we're going to be adding more as well, too. Take the Mike Wagne Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagne Show on the YouTube channel. Follow Mike Wagne Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And stay tuned to the Mike Wagne Show page on Facebook for any updates as well. And we're back once again with author and health expert Stacey Chillemi. She was on last time on the Mike Wagne Show talking about her book, The Complete Herbal Guide, A Natural Approach to Healing the Body. Author of 20 books. I mean, I've lost count after a while. Purified Water Naturally, Cures for the Common Cold, and Corporate Complete Guide to Natural Healing, and Faith, Courage, Wisdom, Strength, Hope, and a lot more. And, of course, as we talked about some of the subjects, that's basically just as we get up there a little wiser, but then stress comes in, you lose your hair over so many things, and of course, we left the fact about, hair loss is a natural thing, and Stacey Chillemi is here to talk about, live from the Plus Studios in beautiful New Jersey, author and health expert Stacey Chillemi, back again, the Mike Wagne Show. Stacey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. I had a great time last time.
Yes, we did, and everybody had a great time as well, too. And, of course, author, health expert, you've written 20 books, and your latest, The Complete Herbal Guide, A Natural Approach to Healing the Body. And, before we talk about hair loss, as we had mentioned on the last show, once again, quickly tell everybody how you got started in a quick recap.
I had developed epilepsy at the age of 5. I had encephalitis. It had traveled to my brain, and I went to an induced coma for 4 days. And when I came out, they thought I was going to be either paraplegic or have severe brain damage. I came out and I was fine, except that I had the disorder, epilepsy. And I struggled my entire life. Living life with epilepsy was a complete roller coaster. And as I moved on, I went into college and I struggled a lot trying to, cope with the stresses of studying late night and dealing with, getting good grades and so forth. And I was having a lot of seizures. I didn't really know if I was going to actually, be able to get through college, something I really wanted to do in life. And so one day I just wrote an article and I wrote a letter out and sent it to the Epilepsy Foundation. And they have a magazine that they publish for people with epilepsy and caretakers. And they had actually published the letter that I had written. And in that letter, I asked other people, to share their stories with me. How do they cope with epilepsy? If they have a story and they have some great ideas they'd like to share, I'd love to hear them. Well, surprisingly, I had like 300 to 400 letters from all over the United States and Canada come to my college campus, and people were just sharing their stories and sharing about how they dealt with epilepsy and their life story. And I was really intrigued. And, for the first time in my life, I realized, I'm not alone. Other people have this. Other people are getting through it. They're struggling, but they're finding ways to move on in life and live positively. And I learned a lot from those people. And after I got out of college, I ended up putting a lot of those letters together, and I wrote a book, Epilepsy You're Not Alone, because I really, those people helped me, and I wanted to help other people. And I had also, that book came out and it did really well. A lot of people had gained a lot of great knowledge from it. And, even one person had emailed me and told me they were on the verge of suicide because they didn't know how to deal with this disorder. And, they said that my book actually, helped them. The letters and the regimens and the suggestions I put in the book really gave them some good advice. And, at that point, I realized, the wisdom of words, how powerful words can be. You do your radio show, I do my books, and I do writing, but words are very powerful, and you could actually really change a person's lives by the things you say and the things you write down on paper. It could really help another person out. And that's when I really kind of opened my eyes and saw my passion in life, and I really realized what my purpose in life is. Something that we all struggle. Sometimes people spend their whole lives chasing after the concept, what is my passion in life? What's my purpose? And at that point, I really, felt that, helping others, was my purpose in life. And I had started, when I got out of college, I had started writing for an herbalist, and I was still taking seizures. And I started to really, he had me do a lot of research and a lot of writing for him. And I was doing a lot of research on a lot of different topics. I'm like, wow, this kind of pertains to me, and I was like, I could try this. And, I started using, different herbs, and I started applying a lot of the research that I was, and knowledge that I was gaining to my own life. And my seizures went from 9 seizures, 6, 5, 4, and they became controlled. And, I started to, I realized how powerful herbs can, really be, and how powerful changing your lifestyle, not just herbs or vitamins, but just the way we eat, the way we handle stress, the things we do in life, sleep and everything, it all pertains to our health. And then I realized that, I can help more than just people with epilepsy. The things I wrote in that book can apply to everybody. And all these things I was learning and all the research I was doing, I really, felt that it would be beneficial for others. And I ended up, after several years, doing a 500 to 600 page book on called Epilepsy You're Not Alone. And I actually started a website, and I started, helping people, and just, here I am today.
That is amazing too. And you did this all by yourself. I'm very
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And of course, too, you talked about epilepsy. You talked about, again, like the certain herbs you take, vitamins, foods you eat, and everything else. What are some of the exact herbs that you take, like for epilepsy, and also for some other health issues as well, too, like some of the herbs, especially for epilepsy and more?
First of all, people don't realize it, but the first thing, is sleep. Sleep is very important. People don't realize, but sleep deprivation and not getting enough of sleep, not renewing your body can hurt any person's health. And also stress. 90% of all illnesses are caused by stress. So a lot of times I like the herb ashwagandha. It's a very common herb. It helps you focus. It actually relaxes you, and it has many different benefits. Like it also can lower the cortisol level, which is a lot of times a high cortisol level can cause cause a lot of stress and cause a lot of health problems. So that herb is really good. I like it's good to take zinc. It's good to take. I like to take vitamin D. I like to take a daily multivitamin to make sure I'm getting enough of vitamins. I like to, I think it's really good to take potassium and magnesium. A lot of people are magnesium deficient, and that can cause a lot of different illnesses itself. And at nighttime, there is a supplement that I had found, and it has both. It was created by a doctor. It has both potassium and magnesium, and those two together, those two minerals together, actually make you tired. So if you struggle from insomnia or just relaxing, and a lot of people are always thinking about the next thing they have to do, even when it's nighttime and they're in bed, they're thinking about tomorrow already, and that day hasn't even begun. So taking a common herb or just taking magnesium and potassium can actually relax you. So you actually get a better night's sleep, a more in-depth sleep, and so you're not stressing yourself out, because what's the point of stressing yourself out and not getting a good night's sleep, and then you wake up the next day and you're so tired because you didn't do what you need to try to help yourself get that good night's sleep.
Mm-hmm. He also talked about magnesium as well too, essential for sleep. And what are some of the more common foods that have magnesium?
Well, there's a lot of good foods that have magnesium. There's a lot of vegetables that you could eat. Off the top of my head today, because I've been so busy today, I can't think of exactly the different foods with the magnesium in it off the top of my head. But there are a lot of vegetables that you can eat that give you, magnesium, that help you. I think, if you can focus on trying to eat the greens, you'll get a lot of the minerals and nutrients that you need in order to actually be healthy.
Mm-hmm. And also too, we talked about some other natural remedies like for sleep, mental stress, and everything else. And we also cover hair loss as well too. We'll talk about that, but first listen to the Mike Wagne Show at themikewagnershow.com. It's powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Mention the Mike Wagne Show. Get 20% off on your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagne Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/the Mike Wagne Show. You can download and listen over 25 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Geo7. And if you don't have a podcast platform that you don't have, just let us know. Take the Mike Wagne Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagne Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagne Show on Instagram and Twitter. And also stay up to date on the Mike Wagne Show page at Facebook.com/Mike Wagne Show. Stay tuned for updates. We're here with author and health expert Stacey Chillemi here on the Mike Wagne Show, recapping her interesting history with epilepsy, how to combat it, and also some of the healing herbs and also foods as well too. Talk a little bit about the complete herbal guide, a natural approach to healing your body, author of 20 books. And of course, you also wrote some more books as well too. We went over some of them before we talk about hair loss. What are some of the books that we have not covered during the last time we talked about?
There's one book I wrote about how to be kind. A lot of times, life has really, you see the same things circle around in life. People, you see the same problems with war and people, fighting with one another. And, sometimes people need to have a little gratitude and have a little kindness in their hearts. And I wrote a book for adults and for children to share with each other and to read together and to talk about so they can communicate one another and discuss. us about gratitude and how to be kind and ways to be kind to each other, because in life, we only have one life, and there's no point in being cruel to others. You only inflict pain on another's life when you're mean to them, and you don't want someone inflicting pain on you. So why do it to somebody else? And I had talked about I had wrote a book about it's called Be Kind, and it just talks about different ways that things you can do in life on a daily basis to demonstrate kindness to one another and cause happiness to each other.
Mm-hmm. And also too, you also had talked about how to purify water and faith, courage, wisdom, strength, and host. And I think those are pretty interesting topics. Purifying water. You can just tell us more about that.
Yeah, there's so many, chemicals in water that you don't see. And a lot of towns, like if you could actually get a water report of your town, because it's surprisingly your town might be, have clean water, but the town next to you actually can have lots of toxins in their water, depending where their water is coming from. And, sometimes, there are some towns, around in the New Jersey area that people got letters, telling them not to drink their water. We're recommending purified water instead, and to get filters on their water in their sinks and in showers and stuff like that. And that's kind of scary, because when you're taking a shower, even if the water is contaminated, the water goes into your pores, that goes right into your bloodstream. So you can't avoid it. So it's like, I talk about water purification, different ways to purify water, and different filters you can use and different things. And then there are there are a lot of different waters that are on the market, but not all of them are good. There are some that have toxins in them and have been found to have certain chemicals and things in there. And so you should actually do your homework and actually look to see which ones are rated the best, and if you're going to buy bottled water, to try to stick with certain brands, because not every brand is up to what they actually say they are.
And what about the boiling water as well, too, that back in the day, before the purification, the filters, and everything coming around, everybody boiled their water.
Yes.
And is it still as effective today, or is it, or should we just say it's pretty much outdated?
No, it's still effective. It's just people, a lot of people don't like to do the work of boiling the water, but it's very effective, and it works well.
Uh-huh. And also that there's just a lot of health as well, too. And, of course, stress, that's been going on in the world these days. Pandemic, you also had, what's going on, especially with the riots and looting and everything else.
Yeah.
And it's just causing a lot of hair loss as well, too. And, we'll talk about that. And of course, we've all had experience with hair loss, and maybe just in your terms, describing hair loss, what it is and what's causing it, and basically just what to do about hair loss, just like mine.
Hair loss is it starts from, we have we have testosterone, both men and women, in our bodies, and as time goes on, we have DHT is derived from testosterone, and it's the DHT that actually causes the hair loss, with the help of an enzyme called 5-reductase, and it's a 5-alpha reductase. And what happens is about 10% of your testosterone turns into DHT, and DHT actually blocks the hair follicles, and it causes the hair follicles sometimes to shrink and blockage, and so that's when the hair loss sets in. And there also there are ways to actually to help your hair loss. And one of the ways is what, like we just mentioned, stress. Stress can cause hair loss. It could be hereditary. It could be caused by certain hair loss illnesses like alopecia. So there's different things that can cause hair loss, but we need to figure out different ways. And there's so many things on the market that sometimes people don't know what is the right thing to use. What actually works, because you could spend a fortune out there. The prices for all these things can get very costly. You buy it on a monthly basis, and you're hoping for all these things to happen. But really, the best way is the scientific way is to get rid of the and to decrease the DHT in that's going on in your body. And there are lots of different protein, amino acids, nutrients, and then antioxidants. These are things that actually fight off the DHT. And so I actually had a really good experience with Hair Restorations Laboratory. They have a product that I've been using for a long time now, and my hair growth had improved tremendously. And I haven't had, my hair hasn't been this thick in over 10 years. And what their company does is they focus on the natural ingredients. Just like we mentioned, they have a bunch of nutrients and vitamins, and they have antioxidants and different amino acids and other ingredients, but it's all natural, and that's what I love about it. There's no impure chemicals, and it actually works. They have like a shampoo, a conditioner, a hair serum to help with either the growth or the thickness of the hair, and I really like it. I try a lot of different things over the course of my life. I had chopped my hair when my kids were little, and I just taking care of long hair was like a little too much for me when my kids were running around when they were toddlers, and my hair after that didn't want to grow anymore. It was just stuck. I couldn't get it to grow for anything, and it was starting to thin out a little, and I was starting to get nervous, and I started taking Biotin for a while, and then I came across the Hair Restorations Laboratories products, and I started doing that also, and my hair started growing, and it's my hairdresser told me it's never been this thick like it is now. So it's been exciting for me because I've never had hair this long since I was a teenager.
That is amazing, and your hair looks fantastic. Now, are you sure your kids weren't pulling your hair during that time, causing? Oh,
they pulled. They did everything.
Yeah, it's mine. Oh my goodness, kids these days. And of course, you talk about the natural ingredients. Your hair restoration uses. What are those natural ingredients?
They have so many different ingredients. Each product has its own combination of ingredients. Like I know they use aloe, and they have different green extract and other ingredients. But they have all like amino acids, and they have all different types of nutrients depending on if you're using the conditioner, or if you're using the shampoo and the serum, they have it's just a lot of different proteins and different things in it that are pure and healthy to the body.
Mm-hmm. And how about the vitamins that are used to promote hair growth and avoiding hair loss?
They have biotin in their products also, and I like biotin. I've always had but you need a little bit more than just the biotin. It's good to have a combination of things, but biotin is one of the minerals that are in there, and I've used it for years, and people have used biotin, but you have to be careful too, because before I tried the shampoo and the conditioner and the serums, I was using biotin, and I didn't realize it, but the product I bought also had other vitamins and nutrients in it, and the two things it had in it, one was vitamin A and one was vitamin B. Now vitamin B is good as long as you don't take too much of it, because too much sometimes can cause muscles to become tightened and hurt. Excuse me.
It's okay. I think I'll take a break myself too. So purified water, love it. So
yeah. And so too much vitamin B sometimes can tighten the muscles, and it can actually cause pain. And I was taking the biotin and I was taking, quite a bit, and over time it built up, and it had not just the biotin, and I didn't read the ingredients, and me being the herbal girl, I should have looked in to see how much vitamin A and vitamin B it had in it. But over a course of time of taking it for so long, my body suddenly became really achy. And
Ooh.
I thought we have arthritis on my father's side of the family. So I thought I was getting arthritis. And I thought, oh my God, but I'm still young. I shouldn't be getting it this early, because my dad complains and he moans and groans of aches and pains all over the place. So I thought I was just following in his footsteps. But what I did is I looked one day on the biotin when I was about to take it, and I saw all the different vitamins it had besides the biotin. And I saw how much vitamin A and vitamin B it had in it. And it was a lot.
Wow.
And and I was taking it, and it just built up in my system. And when I stopped taking it, in a course of 3 days, the pain that I had for like 7 or 8 months, sometimes I didn't want to get out of bed because I felt so achy. And it was because of the supplement. It was just, I took a supplement. That's why you have to always be careful when you take any herbs or vitamins or supplements. You have to make sure you know everything that is in the ingredients, because depending on the medications you're taking, depending on the conditions you have, depending on what you're taking previously, you could overdose yourself, and you could actually cause problems, health problems for yourself. So as soon as I stopped taking that biotin with all those other vitamins and supplements in it, my pain stopped. So you have to always be careful.
Mhm. And that's important as well, too. And for those who are not tolerant of biotin, vitamin A, and vitamin B, what are some of the other alternatives to preventing hair loss for those who are not tolerant to biotin, vitamin A, or vitamin B?
They tell you to focus on protein. Protein is very good for you. What you eat plays a big role too. You have to, you could, like omega-3 is very good for you. Green tea extract is very good for you. Vitamin D is very good to help promote hair growth. You have, eating a lot of different foods like fish, and, if you like fish, eggs, different foods that have a high level of protein in it. Caffeine is actually good for hair, and you can have some caffeine that helps promote hair growth. But you have to make sure just that you eat, a right amount, a healthy amount, and and also do your research. I always say be your own doctor. Like you can't always rely on what someone says. You can take their advice. If it sounds good, then double check, make sure it's right, make sure what they're saying is accurate, because it doesn't hurt to be your own doctor. There's a lot of false information out there, so you always want to make sure that you're getting accurate information, and information that will be beneficial to yourself.
And you talked about some of the foods that you can eat, and what are some of the foods that you have to avoid when it comes to hair loss?
It's staying away from processed foods, staying away from foods that are not good for the body, with high fat contents that put stress on our bodies. Are foods you want to stay away from. A lot of times we don't realize it, but a lot of the foods we eat have a lot of ingredients that are bad for our bodies. When our body doesn't know what to do with certain foods that come into our body, and they might have certain ingredients that are impure, our body doesn't know what to do, so it stores it, because it doesn't know how to break it down. So then you can, over a course of time, you can have a lot of toxins in your body and not even realize it. That could cause stress on your body, and that could cause the hair loss itself. So, you really, by the food you eat, you can actually, by eating healthy and staying away from a lot of those processed and bad foods, you could actually help your hair growth. That's a big thing. And I like to detoxify my body. There are different herbs that you can, take. Chamomile is good for relaxation, but it also helps with detoxifying. You have dandelion, which is really good. Dandelion is a very good detoxify, and you can drink it as a tea. There's a lot of different things that help to detoxify the body. Spinach is a good. It has a lot of fiber in it. I think when we were talking about foods, it has the magnesium and the iron in it. So okay, my brain sometimes doesn't work. But that's another food that you could eat that's great for the body, and it helps cleanse the body, helps and they talk about a healthy gut. A lot of times, a lot of the illnesses and the things that happen to us is you have to look at the root cause, and having a leaky gut, having a lot of toxins in our digestive tract, can cause a lot of the illnesses and problems that we have and that we suffer on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if Popeye's listening, I'm sure he'd be happy about spinach.
I'm sure he would.
Yes.
I missed that cartoon.
and of course, what's coming up for Stacey, Chillemi, and more, we'll talk about that. But first, listen to the Mike Wagne Show, themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Mention the Mike Wagne Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagne Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can also check our Facebook page, facebook.com/the Mike Wagne Show. You can download and listen to over 25 podcast platforms on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, take the Mike Wagne Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagne Show on the YouTube channel. Also, follow the Mike Wagne Show on Instagram and Twitter today, and stay tuned to the Facebook page of MikeWagnerShow.com and for any updates as well. We're here with author and health expert Stacey Chillemi here on the Mike Wagne Show, talking about hair loss and much, much more as well, too. And one more question before we talk about what's coming up for you. Where can we find this information on hair loss in your books, and which ones?
The Complete Herbal Guide talks about hair loss. It has different information. I also, talk about it on my website, thecompleteherbalguide.com. If you don't find the information that you want in the book, you could always go to the website, because over the course of the years, I've written even more content on our website, and other experts have come on the website to talk about hair loss and have written different articles on hair loss as well. So there's a lot of information on the website, along with the book, The Complete Herbal Guide, and it talks about all the different herbs and all the different types of vitamins and nutrients that you could take to help you with your hair loss.
That is amazing as well, too. And where can we find this book at?
The book is on my website, or you can find it on Amazon. Lulu.com has my book as well. But you can go on my website, and it's right on the website itself. And, if anyone has any questions, I'd love to hear their thoughts and their questions about, what kind of health concerns they may have, too.
Mm-hmm. That is fantastic. Looking forward to having it again soon, and keep us up to date. And speaking of keeping us up to date, what are your upcoming plans for 2020 and beyond?
Well, I've been doing a lot of videos lately. A lot of people have been telling me, you write so much content, we want to hear it. We don't want to just read it. So I've been working a lot on YouTube and our YouTube channel, the Herbal Guide on YouTube. And we've been doing a lot of videos trying to, talk about different topics and, talk about different solutions and advice, about different natural ways to conquer a lot of different illnesses, conditions, and different, over things, like even like beauty and stuff like that, natural ways to, to make yourself beautiful.
That is fantastic. And what's the, and who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
My biggest influence, I over the course of time, it was, I had certain doctors that actually, Dr. Orrin Davinsky, he's in New York, and he focuses on epilepsy, and he was a big influence. He just when I told him about how I was writing, he was really he really liked the idea of me writing, and he always kind of gave me inspiration. And the fact that he did so much for others, he inspired me, because I never saw someone do so much for other people like he did, and he just devoted his entire life to helping others. So, people like that, inspire me. When I see others, kind of, doing things for the right reasons, I become very inspired and motivated, and it kind of gives me motivation myself to want to do good.
It does fantastic. You're doing a great job of it. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Right now we're going through a really hard time. People are getting very stressed, and they're very nervous. I keep talking to people, and a lot of people are struggling, even financially too. I see so many people that I know that own businesses, and they don't know what the next month is going to bring them, and it's that fear. And, the best thing to do is, I think is to, take each day, one day at a time, and try to, do the best we can, and to work on stress, on ways to, to work on our stress, and to, be able to work on our anxiety, because this is a very hard time for everybody. And, the best thing to do is just to learn how to meditate, maybe do a little yoga and relaxation to focus better, and to be able, and you can find those things on YouTube. They have great yoga and meditation channels with great exercises on the YouTube station, and it doesn't cost any money. And it's, they have like little classes they do, just to help you relax, and to help you, to be able to focus better and get that anxiety out.
And that is amazing. I love what you put. Very well said, by the way. Author and health expert Stacey Chillemi of the Complete Herbal Guide, Natural Approach to Healing Your Body, talking about hair loss and more here on the Mike Wagne Show. Stacey, again, big thank you for your time. It's always fantastic to talk to you. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? And where can people purchase your books?
They can purchase my books on the Complete Herbal Guide. We have a link right on the top of our menu that leads to all our books. That way, it's nice and easy. I have also, like I mentioned, the CompleteHerbalGuide.com. We also have a store that we have different vitamins and supplements, and you can find that on our website too. That it's called the Vitamin Herbal Store and .com. And you can find a lot of our vitamins and our things too. We're also thinking about maybe doing, we've been working on maybe making a couple of supplements, especially with immunity, and, people worried about their immunity now. You might be seeing a vitamin and a supplement out from the Complete Herbal Guide soon. And, you could also, find like our books, like I mentioned, on Amazon. And, those are kind of the things that I'm working on right now. And, on our website, we pretty much have everything linked. And, and I encourage others to come down and visit our YouTube station and leave their comments and thoughts, and, and tell us what they want to see from us, because I'd love to know what people want to learn about.
Mm-hmm. And talk about immunity as well, too, how to protect yourself. I think that's a great subject to talk about. We'll do that again. And
Yes.
Stacey, thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep this up to date. We'll have you back on sometime in 2020 and beyond. And stay well, and stay happy and stay safe.
Thank you so much. And you as well. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
The Mike Wagne Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagne Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagne Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagne Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagneshow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagneshow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagne Show.